What's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Got a couple of things to talk about in today's video, including an absolutely hilarious bug that's happening on the Epic Store right now with Axiom Verge, the free game offering. There's a missing file that the developer removed. He removed all the files that listed Steam in it, and it's actually causing the game to crash in the Epic Store. You guys might have experienced this problem. There's a big Restera thread about it, and I do want to go over how you can fix the issue, but a pretty hilarious issue nonetheless. And I do want to give you guys the heads up on that because I told everyone to download that game and play it because Axiom Verge is an excellent game. Even if you have to go through the Epic Store and you don't want to do that, I think Axiom Verge is a quality enough game where it's worth it, and I want to make sure you guys are playing that at its best possible state. Also, we've got the system requirements for a couple of games, namely Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, the latest game from Software. That game is shaping up to be awesome, and we've got the system requirements, and they actually aren't too bad. They're about the equivalent of Dark Souls 3, a little bit lower than that if my memory is recalling it correctly, but not bad system requirements at all. Also, we got the system requirements for probably the most weeb game of the year in Jump Force. This is a game that I'm kind of excited for. However, on PC, it's probably going to have a lackluster online community, but it does seem to have a focus on its single-player component as well, so I want to take a look at the system requirements of that as well. God Eater 3 just released on Steam. You guys might have missed out on that. $59.99 is a little bit expensive, but you can get a little bit of a discount, and there's an absolutely insane deal on Resident Evil 2 right now from Green Man Gaming, so I'll give that a shout out as well. You guys can see the price there. That's an incredible deal. Kicking things off, let's talk about this Axiom Verge bug because it's pretty hilarious. I'll leave a link to the Restera thread in the description box down below, pointed out to me over on Reddit, but somebody posted on Twitter, downloaded Axiom Verge from Epic Store. It's free and I hear it's good. Game crashes 100% entering an arena. I poke around and find the log files. Turns out it's missing a sound effect Steam. I have a pretty good idea how and why that happened, LOL. The missing file is actually there. There's a steam.xnb file, and they really did just delete it. That's Thomas Happ, who is the developer of the game, and it specifically happens in the third area, and they have this sound effect, and then Tom Happ put out a Twitter post saying, for anyone missing steam.xnb from the Epic Store, please go to Axiom Verge in your library, click the gear icon, verify, then update. I was thinking it being Epic and all, I shouldn't include Valve's DLLs and such, so I excluded all files with Steam in the name. Oops. Now, this isn't inherently a problem with the Epic Game Store. This was just an issue with Tom Happ, and it's a funny issue, and I did want to bring that to your guys' attention because I did recommend you guys to download it. I personally have this game on Steam, so it's not like I went out of my way to check this game out over at the Epic Store, but a lot of you guys did, and considering it's $18 on Steam right now, Epic Store is definitely the place to get it. Considering it's free, it's a great game, but just make sure you verify and update it, and then the game should be working just fine for you. Just a pretty hilarious bug that happened with the Epic Game Store, but good to see it got fixed pretty quickly. Moving on from that, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice has had its system requirements revealed, and this is a game that I'm very excited for. In terms of the early portion of 2019, this along with Metro Exodus are probably my most anticipated games of the first 3 months of the year, and Metro Exodus, of course, has had quite the controversy recently, so Sekiro, I think to a lot of people, is their most anticipated game, and now we have the system requirements. Of course, it's coming from Software, the guys that did Dark Souls, and those games typically run pretty well. The first Dark Souls was a pretty big train wreck, but Dark Souls 3 ran rather well, and Sekiro's system requirements aren't all too crazy, so let's go over it. Minimum requirements, we have an Intel Core i3 2100 and an AMD FX 6300, not bad at all. 4 gigabytes of RAM, so 4 gigabytes still kicking. A GTX 760 or an AMD Radeon HD 7950, so pretty low end there. I do believe the 760 is considerably a weaker card than the 7950, so that's a little bit strange, but still nothing too crazy there. In terms of recommended, again, nothing too crazy. Intel Core i5 2500K, that's the Sandy Bridge CPU that was released all those years ago. It's insane to see that still kicking it. The AMD Ryzen 5 1400 is there as well. 8 gigabytes of recommended RAM, so that's fine to see games with 8 gigabytes of recommended RAM. That's always a pleasant surprise as the world is moving more towards 12 and 16 gigabytes being recommended. And then lastly, as far as recommended graphics go, you're looking at an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970 or an AMD Radeon RX 570. Now, I believe the 970 and the 570 are actually a little bit more comparable than, say, the 760 and the HD 7950, but in terms of actually how they all line up, it's a little bit foggy to me, but you guys get the idea. The recommended requirements aren't all too crazy, and 970 being recommended, that's an older GPU that released, what, back in 2014, 2015? It's a couple years old at this point, an older GPU, and if you have something like a 1070 or even one of the more recent GPUs, of course, you're going to be able to blitz through this game by the looks of it. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice will be having its official release on March 22nd, again, a game that I'm very excited for, and it's from Software. It does look a lot like Souls from the surface. You might just see it as a challenging action game, but it's a lot different. It has a bigger emphasis on its storytelling. Yes, it's going to be super challenging. Yes, it's going to have some slick gameplay, but of course, with the title of the game, Shadows Die Twice, that is going to be a mechanic of the game, and it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. Quite possibly could be another compelling IP from Software, and they did want to step away from Souls from the time being, so them putting out more original games, that's something I can get behind. Hopefully we see them go back and do an Armored Core game at some point. I would love to see that because I'm big into mechas, but Sekiro for now, we'll be able to play that on March 22nd. Moving on from that, another game we have the system requirements for, quite possibly the most weeb game of the year. It's Jump Force. That'll be dropping on February 14th, and this game is taking a lot of characters from shonen manga, throwing them into a fighting game, and then all hell is gonna break loose. Of course, a lot of iconic characters right there. You can see Luffy, Goku, Naruto, Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho is gonna be in there. A couple characters from Bleach are gonna be in there. If you're a weeaboo, this is probably gonna be a really appealing game to you. Now, the beta did release. It had some network issues, and from a gameplay standpoint, it looked rather good, but now we have the system requirements as well, so let's take a look at that. This game is actually harder to run than Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, especially from the CPU end of things. Minimum CPU requirements, you're looking at an Intel Core i5 2300, 2.8 GHz, or an AMD A10 7850K, 3.7 GHz. I believe that's an APU. 4 GB of minimum RAM, minimum graphics. You're looking at a GeForce GTX 660 Ti 3 GB, or a Radeon HD 7950 3 GB. If memory serves me correctly, the 660 Ti was never released in a 3 GB variant, so that's a little bit strange to me. But yeah, there you have it. Nothing too high end in terms of minimum requirements. The 7950 actually very comparable to Sekiro. Recommended requirements are a little bit beefier. Intel Core i7 6700 or a Ryzen 5 1400, 8 GB of recommended RAM, a GTX 1060 or an R9 Fury, and then you will need 17 GB of available download space. That's not too bad at all. If you do pre-order the game, you get a lobby vehicle and 3 costumes as well, so there's that. $59.99 for this game might be a little bit excessive of a price point, especially because I don't know how much longevity there's gonna be on PC. That's the case with just about every fighting game, even like more popular fighting games like a Soul Calibur 6. That game isn't all too active on PC right now. It's just an unfortunate reality of fighting games on PC. That's why cross-play with fighting games would be so awesome on PC, but unfortunately we have yet to have that. But Jump Force, hopefully it has a good single-player component as well, as it'll be dropping on February 14th. Moving on from that, I do quickly want to mention that God Eater 3 was recently released for PC just yesterday. This game popped up on my wishlist feed, and then I realized, I'm like, oh my god, God Eater 3 is already out. The time is just flying in 2019, and this game has already been released. Of course, a game that sees a lot of comparisons to Monster Hunter, and it has more of an anime style, so that might draw you in, it might push you away, but it is $59.99, which is a little bit pricey. However, if you do own God Eater 2 Rage Burst, you will enjoy 20% off on the game. And if you've yet to take advantage of Steam's Lunar Sale offer, you do get the $5 off. So if you have God Eater 2, you get it for $48, and then because you're spending more than $30, you'll get it for what? $48 minus $5, $43. So $43 for God Eater 3, that's not a bad deal. Currently, the reviews are a little bit iffy, 75% positive, but it's a game like God Eater. If you know what this game is all about, you kind of know what you're getting into. I personally enjoyed God Eater 2, and once God Eater 3 gets a little bit cheaper, I'll probably be giving a look. Hell, I might end up picking it up because I am saving 20% with God Eater 2. Haven't really made up my mind on that yet. And lastly, Resident Evil 2 is available 27% off over at Green Man Gaming. This is a part of their Lunar New Year's sale, flash sale. It's $43.79. This is a tremendous deal on Resident Evil 2, a game that just came out, a game that has an overwhelmingly positive reception on Steam, so that's pretty incredible, and that's based on like 10,000 reviews. This game has just been received really, really well across the critics. I believe it's at like a 91 or 92 on Metacritic. The Steam users are talking very positively about it, and me personally, from what I've played, I've thoroughly enjoyed it as well. The PC version is quite good, so $43 for that. Gonna give that a strong recommendation. If you do want to take advantage of Steam refunds, if you're kind of iffy on whether this game is going to run on your PC or you just want to try it out for a little bit, remember, you could just buy the game on Steam for $60, play it for an hour and a half, get near that 2-hour threshold, and then sign off and then refund the game and then buy it on Green Man Gaming. Yes, you're kind of duping the system, but what the hell? If you want to get the best price possible, if you want to take advantage of refunds, that's how you do it. It's pretty simple. Just wanted to give that a mention, and I'll leave a link in the description box down below. And that's going to conclude this video, guys. Again, a hilarious hilarious bug is going on with Axiom Verge from the Epic Store. If you just verified and updated, you should be good to go, so don't worry too much about that. And again, a game that I would highly recommend you to play. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice and Jump Force have had their system requirements revealed. Let me know if you guys are excited for either of those games. God Eater 3 is out right now, and check out that great deal on Resident Evil 2. Link to that in the description box down below. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. If you have a request for a future video, as always, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.